Does he qualify?
Yeah.
Then yeah. I mean, it's a one something, the whole deal. I mean, I think he's got to if he qualifies. I don't know how you can ignore it.
You can have anybody. There's no official qualification.
Oh, there's not?
It's not like the back.
Oh, okay. I guess I was drawing that comparison. So basically 13 starts of 30, short of 30, is probably close enough. You got to consider it.
You get another day, another new reliever. How is it trying to evaluate all these guys, that come through the door?
I mean, I think they evaluate themselves. I think how they pitch and how they throw kind of, it does our job for us in a lot of ways. I think the reality is, of this group of guys that's here, you're probably going to get a couple that really put themselves into consideration for next year. I think the reality is Mike's probably going to go out and grab some bullpen guys this winter. Several of them, at least, would be my guess. So these guys, some of these guys are putting themselves on the map, and they do it through their performance. So they make it easy for us when they perform.
Who are the guys that have really impressed you in the second half?
Yeah, I think Dietrich Enns has been a guy. Cade Stroud's been really interesting. You kind of see him out there, and all I ever heard about was Cade was that he couldn't throw a strike. So that's not what we're seeing here. And I think he's probably gotten over that hump here in the last probably 18 months is my understanding. But he's been really good. He's really interesting. Just the calm demeanor that he has. He's 28 years old, so he's not a spring chicken by any means, So there's some maturity there. It's not a 23-year-old kid that, is bright-eyed and just assumes he's going to be in the big leagues for the next 15 years like a lot of guys do when they first get here. He's had a tough road to get to this point. He's had to kind of fight and scratch and claw for everything, so he stands out a lot.
Talked with you a while back about Buck Britton and him kind of taking over your role at third base and what you thought of that. How have you just seen him adapting to being on a staff, major league staff, and all the change that he's kind of had to go through while learning at the same time?
Yeah, Buck's done a wonderful job, man. I'm really proud of him. When I got into coaching third base, I was on a big league staff in Cleveland in COVID, and Mike Sarbaugh, who was a longtime third base coach, went to the bench, and I had Mike was able to guide me, and teach me how to be a big league third base coach. And I hope that I've been able to do the same and pass along the same thing to Buck that Mike did for me. Now, for Buck had never, he'd been managing a long time in the minor leagues. Buck's had to transition from being a manager, which is very different from being a coach. And as I've watched him every day out there, he's really grown as a coach. He's getting better at teaching the infield. He's getting better at holding players accountable that the position needs. He's become a really good third base coach too. So I'm thrilled with his growth and his development here over the last 4 months, and really excited to kind of see what the future holds for him.
You mentioned the difference between being a coach and being a manager. You've gone the other way this year. How would you kind of describe that transition for you of going the other direction?
It's a good question. It's a big change. The conversations that are had as a coach and the conversations that are had as a manager are completely different. You have to have a lot of tough conversations, both with the staff and with the players. So relationships change. It really changes in a lot of ways, but they are completely different, and they are really challenging in their own right, and I've enjoyed doing both.